那么接下来呢，是我们来自于我们这个团队的一个课程展示，也希望各位老师呢进行一个深度的交流。那么大家呢把这个教材呢可以翻到我们这个样书，翻到我们后半部分，因为前半部分是我们的这个综合教程，后半部分22页以后呢是我们视听说的这个教程。那么这本书呢，从2021年8月份由我们这个陈建林教授进行一个顶层设计，那么孕育了3年，也是一个10多个人的团队不断去更新打造。非常的这个精心设计。那这个教材当中呢，我们对这个视听说，尤其是泛文化呢，可能大家这个对视听说的了解非常多。那我以黑龙江为例，说一下我们近期的中高考的改革。非常幸运的就是在我们这个做教材的同时呢，那么高考在2023年黑龙江省全面实行了我们这个考试在高考当中的学分的这个就成绩的考试的纳入。那么接下来呢，在2026年黑龙江省全面进行中考20分听力10分口语的这个考察，这是一个喜讯，对我们来说可能全国都开始有这种自上而下的，然后我们高大衔接的这种对我们外语教学的一个挑战。所以呢，今天我觉得大家来学习也是非常具有前沿性、前瞻性也跟我们的学者们近距离的去交流，学习到了很多。那么接下来呢，跟我们进行一个课堂展示的是来自于我们哈尔滨师范大学的肖成孝老师。肖成孝老师，我做一下个人简单介绍：文学博士，哈尔滨师范大学序理学院的教授，硕士生导师，从事当代西方文化与文学、跨文化与国际传播研究，主讲省级研究生课程思政大学入库案例课程一门，省级线上线下可能是一流本科课程一门，精品课程在线开放一门，主持参与国家级首级项目11项，发表学术论文31篇。那么全国中文核心期刊2篇，以及我们 CSI 论文3篇，出版的教材4部，荣获了省级高等教育教学成果奖1项，校级高等教育教学成果奖2项，曾荣获万研社教学之星团队大赛全国复赛特等奖、半决赛2等奖，黑龙江省普通高校学校外语精课团队大赛1等奖，哈尔滨师范大学年级青年教师课堂教学优秀奖。指导学生获得全国性奖项3项，非常优秀。现在请我们掌声欢迎我们肖成老师进行展示。好。
感谢陈杰老师的介绍，各位专家、全国的各位老师，大家上午好。非常感谢今天我能有这样的一个机会，就教材的设计和课程设计在此进行一个分享。希望各位老师多提宝贵意见。那么下面呢，我来说一下今天的我的这个汇报的内容，包含以下几个方面 ：target students, teaching materials, teaching objectives, the procedures, and teaching methods. The first one, our target students is non-English majors, and most of them are the freshmen. And the teaching materials, this textbook is the ideological and political textbook, so it provides the authentic language materials that reflect the contemporary social and political issues. It just includes a variety of accents and speaking skills, and also provides students for real-world listening situations. And also these textbooks encourage the student to engage in the materials through discussion and debate, enhancing their listening comprehension. And also the content is designed to foster their critical thinking and analytical skills. And our teaching objectives include the four aspects. The first one is to improve the students' listening comprehension skills, and also the students' language proficiency, and foster their cross-cultural communication skills, and also their critical awareness. And as we all know, the first chapter or the first unit of this book is family relations. So the teaching objectives of Unit 1 include knowledge, skills, and awareness. And according to the first aspect about the knowledge, the students will learn some important words and expressions. And also they will learn skills of being a good listener and the speaking skill of using idioms. But most important is that after learning the knowledge and skill, we will foster and improve students' students awareness, such as just let them be aware of the connotation and denotation meaning of home, and redefine the concept of family, and clarify the parental obligations from ancient to modern times. And as we all know, the topic of Unit 1 is family relations. So, firstly, we will introduce the family culture that varies across countries and emphasize the differences in family concepts between the Chinese and Western nations, so that we can encourage students to actively participate in class discussions and activities related to family relations, and to master the listening skill of being a good listener and the speaking skill of using the idioms to prepare the students for real-world listening scenarios by exposing them to a wide range of connotations and denotations in expressions about family, so that we can inspire the students' critical thinking about the redefining concept of family and clarifying differences in parental responsibilities and obligations. So the teaching procedures, our whole class, we just try to use autonomous learning and classroom teaching. And we focus on the culture, the language, and awareness. And before class, we will ask the student to do some online tasks, including the students will just watch the online MOOCs, macro lessons, and will finish some online tasks, such as study the journals and watch some cultural lectures. And in class, that means the face-to-face class, the teacher will edit the textbook and will choose some materials designed for specific teaching purposes. After students' learning and presentation, the teachers can check how well the students learned by their worksheet. And in online study, or before, after our class, we just adopted project-based learning. And in class, that means face-to-face class, we will adopt projection-oriented approach to show the high quality of this course. According to the process and methodology, we just include 4 aspects. The first step 叫学理性，也是概念性的活动，include online and after-class activities. The second step 二阶是翻转性课堂。The student can experience our class activities by dividing into several different groups and finish some tasks. And the third step 叫三阶操练including the online activities and the offline, with a face-to-face class, we can just organize some debate and the teaching design. And the fourth step 叫四阶拓展student can just cooperate to do some debate and give us some feedback diaries. So through this methodology and procedures, we hope that students can fully participate in our listening class to just make themselves to participate, experience, and practice this listening course. And as we all know, we must encounter some problems during the face-to-face class learning or online learning, and also some students may belong to the lower participant, passive participants. And so we can try to use some methodologies or organize some activities such as cooperate, the project or workshop activities to improve their ability. And this is the knowledge map of Unit 1. Our topic is family relations. I just show the knowledge map of Unit 1, including 7 parts. Part 1 is opening up activities. 那么通过第一个活动的设计 brainstorming 和 viewing 两个活动，我们能够了解到 family 的这个概念。同时呢，在借助我们的平台词语的帮助，通过视频短片去强调家庭文化在中西家庭的这个重要性。第二部 是 listening for Chinese culture， 第3个部分呢是 listening for Western culture， 主要讲述的是中西两个不同文化的家庭对于家庭文化的概念，以及中国人崇尚和尊崇和的基本原则和西方人对婚姻乃至生育的持有的这样不同的概念。那么第4部分是我们的跨文化反思部分，因为我们大家都知道，就是中西对家庭观念产生不同的这种想法，但是随着这个时间的推移呢，这个文化在发展演进的过程当中，又会对我们的家庭文化再塑造。所以现在我们去让学生去反思我们的家庭看起来是怎样的。那么这种文化乃至在全球化的时代下，那么这种跨文化又对我们的家庭塑造产生了哪些影响？那么在第5部分和第6部分呢，我们主要练习的是 listening skill about how to be a good listener。第6部分的 speaking skill， 我们主要练习的就是如何使用这些俚语。最后一部分呢是 critical thinking， 那么在这部分我们去引导学生针对当前的社会热议的话题进行一个反思。那么这个热议的话题就是现在我们谈到说父母给我们孩子生命，那么他们有没有权得到回报？一种观点是不需要回报，另外一种观点是应该得到回报。So before class, we can just organize some online activities. And these online activities, we also call it preheating activities and introduction techniques. We can utilize current events and popular topics to stimulate their interest. And also we can conduct warm-up discussions on relevant themes to active students' career knowledge. And also in this process, the teacher can introduce the key vocabulary and expressions related to the listening materials. And also, we can play some related audio and video clips to set the context and generate the interest. At part 1, that is opening up activities, and we have section A, brainstorming exercises. So in this part, the teacher will introduce some expressions or sayings of family. And the students just try to understand the concept of family. Such, for example, in section A, the students can talk about their family members, the family relations, and also the family atmosphere. And according to the teacher can give the learners some renting style buzzwords such as the tiger parent, who is a helicopter parent, and the free-range parents, and also we can introduce some sayings about family, such as a peaceful family will prosper. What's the meaning? 家和万事兴. Yes, blood is thicker than water. 血浓于水. Okay. And the second part, viewing. Section B, the student will watch a video clip to fill in the blanks. And also, this video clip will help the students to talk about the general idea of this listening material. After this viewing, teacher can use audio-visual methods to scan the QR code, and we just use the word text to solve some problems or some difficult words that appear in the listening materials. So also this is the characteristic of our textbook to cultivate students' input ability. And in this part, we also use communicative approach. The students should think about and share some words or phrases about the family, which can help the students to understand family relations from different angles. And in this part, the students are asked to use some specific examples based on their words, the phrases they learned, to explain more about their ideas. So in this part, we just get the students to do some effective input. And the second part is listening for culture. Include section A and section B. We made a contrast between the Chinese family and the Western families about the family culture. And here in this part, we use task-based teaching and audiolingual methods to listen for Chinese culture based on the traditional customs and morals. And also in this part, the students will listen to the Western culture based on the concept of family among the Western young people. And here, the organizations or activities is trying to improve efficiency and quality of students' input ability. And also the most important part is that after listen, the students should open their mouths and talk about what impressed them most. And here, the material, just as our leader, Professor Wu mentioned, our textbook comes from our real life. But we think the contents just try to is over the life, closely related to the students' daily life. And here we can just use our mobile phone or computers to scan the QR code for further practice and do some activities online. And in this part, we realize what to get students to deeply think about the contradiction between the Western and the Chinese ideas about family relations. The third part is cross-cultural reflection. We try to improve students' speaking and cross-cultural ability. And in this part, according to the previous study, the students may have a deeper understanding of family relations, both in Chinese and Western cultures. So here, the teacher will ask the student to find some similarities and differences between them and explain them in detail. So in this part, we also improve students' output ability. And during this teaching process, we will use production-oriented approach and audio-visual methods to make the students to judge whether it is true or false. So here, this step after listening these two passages, the students may have a deeper understanding of the family relations, both in Chinese and Western cultures. The first step, we just try to check students' output ability. And the second part is filling the blanks with proper words and phrases. We use production-oriented approach to ask students work in groups to discuss the following questions. And after discussing with each other, students should summarize their ideas on the similarities and differences between the understanding of family relations in both Chinese and Western culture. This is the second step for the teacher to improve the students' output ability. And the fourth part, we try to practice students' listening skills and speaking skills, include three processes: before listening, while listening, and after listening. Each step we have different activities, and the first step we will organize some discussion activities related to the partner's stories about his family history. While listening, we have three steps. The first one is listen for gist. The second part, listen for words, phrases, and examples. The third step, we try to improve or practice to do the students' listening skill of being a good listener. And after listening, the students will try to practice their speaking skills. So the first activity is to figure out the idioms. The second part is to translate the meaning of these idioms. And the third part is to practice the speaking skill of using idioms. And according to listening skills, we have Section A before you listen, Section B while you listen, and Section C after you listen. We fully improve students' skills about the listening content, the language or the skills they learned. And also in this part, we will use production-oriented approach or audiolingual methods. After explaining the listening skill of this unit, our teachers, we should help the students to employ the skill to complete Section A, Section B, and Section C, namely before you listen, while you listen, and after you listen. So pay more attention to this sentence. Here in this section, teachers should help the students to master the skills. So the first part, we use group collaboration to listen for gist. And second part, we use some workshop activities to listen for words, phrases, and examples. The third step, we just ask the students work in pairs and make a dialogue by using the listening skill to figure out each other's family relations so that we can practice their listening skill of being a good listener. So according to speaking skills, after learning the content, the language structures, we try to ask the student to work in pairs and role play the following situation. After explaining the speaking skills in this unit, the teachers can use task-based teaching method or production-oriented approach to help the students to employ the skill to complete the following tasks. 一阶 figure out the idioms. 二阶能力的训练是 translate the meaning of idioms such as flesh and blood, my old man, like father, like son. 三阶能力 now practice the speaking skill of using idioms. So the teacher will ask the students to role play the situation, such as students will acting as a host and student B acting as a guest. Part 6, that is critical thinking. Just as I mentioned, in this section we will talk about a hot topic, whether the parents ask for something in return or not. So in this section, the students will cultivate the students' critical thinking to ask them redefine the connotations and denotations of home, the difference between the nuclear family and extended family, and to clarify the concept of home and parental obligations. After explaining the skill and moral thinking material about family relations, the teacher will help the students to finish the following 2 tasks. The first part is watch a video clip and fill in the blanks. We use audiolingual methods. Also, the students can scan the QR code to get some key new words. And the second part, the students in this section should open their mouths using their listening skill and speaking skill to work in groups to discuss the following questions, such as, according to the connotation and denotation of family, can you tell something about the nuclear family and extended family? And each family has its own symbols. So can you just name your family symbols and tell your family stories? So also in this process, we cultivate the students' critical awareness. After class, the students can also scan the QR code for further practice, and they can do some exercises about CET4. And also in the last part, the students can check the unit review. They just check how well they achieve, whether they achieve the learning objectives of this unit. And also, the teacher, we can use process evaluation and summative evaluation, 就是结合终结性评价和形成性评价 to get a holistic view of students' learning and allows for timely interventions, and the later improvement. And here we just show some knowledge map about the learning mode, including the teaching objectives, the analysis of students and the content, the activities, the information and evaluation, including before class, in class, and after class. So the students and the teachers, we can work together. We focus on something. We just deal with or solve some problems accurately. 这个也可以实现听力课程的一个知识图谱的建设。那么主要呢是可以通过关联相关的课程，通过课前、课中和课后的任务布置，形成教师和学生之间的学研共同体。那么针对知识图谱的这一个部分呢，我想给大家介绍一下我们这个课程在实践的过程当中关联的2门课程。第一门课程呢，就是我们这个听力课程，为了去弥补学生对西方文化常识里面的这个知识的一些欠缺，或者是一些这个内容，学生可以去在线学习，由我们学校我们西语学院顾世林教授团队打造的国家级一流课程英伦历史文化实宜，学生可以对西方文化和西方常识有着更深的了解。那么还有是我们这个学院，也是我们的这个研发团队打造的黑龙江省一流课程中华文化体验之旅，针对学生在中国文化方面他所缺少的一些想了解的内容或拓展的一些资源，可以通过在线课程的学习。那么这2个平台的学习都可以实现课前和课后知识性的一些拓展和延伸。那么接下来我给大家看一下，这是我们初步在用知识图谱进行课堂教授的一个思维导图的展示还有知识单元的细化。我们每一个单元可能都关联到西方文化常识或者是中国文化的常识。那么在线资源还可以监测到学生的知识点的学习完成率和平均掌握率，同时还可以在线布置各种任务。那么在这个平台上呢，还可以给学生推荐相关的一些拓展知识的书籍和试题。那么同时我们通过混合式教学通过大数据的统计功能，更能体现形成性评价的一个数据的收集和精准的一个学情分析的定位。这里面包括班级的管理和资源的统计，还有课程报告，最后学生形成性评价的成绩单的收集。同时也可以通过大数据去了解到学生整体学习的状况，包括章节测试、讨论次数、参与人数、考试成绩的分布等等。下面呢是我们这个教材视听说教材的一个研发教学群各位同仁、各位同事可以通过扫描我们屏幕上方的2维码进入到我们的研发群当中相互交流，多提宝贵的意见。最后一句话就是哈尔滨师范大学欢迎各位全国的专家和学者们来研修学习，同时也欢迎大家来到北国滨城哈尔滨感受一下哈尔滨人的热情，就是哈尔滨欢迎南方的小金豆们，也欢迎南方的各位长辈。好，我的汇报到此结束，感谢各位的聆听。
好的刚才呢我们听到了肖春老师这个非常精彩的分享。那我也是刚的派员过来看到了教学知星大赛。那么可以说刚才肖老师的这个课呢，真的可以称之为金课之金课，是吧我们可以看到它的呈现呢，就像我们刚才郭院长说的，做好了我们的主业，又承担了肩负了我们的主责。因为呢，肖春老师可能大家以为这个单元是他撰写的，其实他是我们14个团队当中一员，但他撰写的是第3册第4关于 policy making 就政策性制定的这一个课。但今天的展示呢，是我们这个复旦出版社呢给大家做一个就是推荐，说我们第1册第1单元 family relationship 比较适合做我们老师们共同的关注，因为它是个人的一个价值观的成长，更有助于我们大家做教学的教研。 所以呢，今天他呢在时间紧任务重的情况下能这么精彩纷呈的去呈现我们这样的一堂课，真的是看出了我们教师素质、教师的素养非常之高，也是值得我们所有外语人骄傲的事情。就是这个 AI 时代，这是个很好的时代，这也是个很刺激的时代。我们能不能被替代呢？这么优秀的老师怎么可能被替代？无论从他个人的发音、个人的这个能力，包括课程的呈现、对教材的理解，当他出现这个四阶的时候，很多老师眼睛都亮了。我觉得今天在场的各位呢，也是非常有文化、有知识、有涵养。因为做到现在，大家一看到已经12点了。但是呢，我们就像 Steve Jobs 说的 ，Stay foolish, stay hungry， 真的是求知若渴的那种，在这还是聆听的非常认真。很多老师又拍照又记录，然后不断去学习，而且期待着我们最后一个就是来自于我们这个复旦出版社给我们做辅助、做平台的负责人陈瑞江董事长的这个等会儿的一个即将精彩的呈现。所以我觉得在座的各位呢，我们有一个掌声送给我们刚才的山东老师，另外掌声送给我们自己好不好？同时掌声送给我们即将上台的陈瑞江董事长那我来介绍一下我们陈瑞江董事长。那么他呢是我们批改网大家都非常熟悉，也是我们灯塔阅读联合创始人，产品的架构师，复旦社智教平台的负责人。通过呢引入产学协同和用共创的产品研发模式，先后主持了批改网、灯塔阅读和复旦社大学英语智慧教学平台等 AI 教学产品，累计服务师生超过3000万。近期主要研究兴趣是 AI 生成外语教学资源和促学评价设计。那么在座的各位呢，可能都知道。